What's up, guys? Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Nameco, sitting here with Dustin. We're going to go over the second half of the rankings for the 2010 Fantasy Football wide receivers. Just a reminder again, log into our site, get into those contests, free to enter, chance to win a trip to Hawaii. Dustin, let's move right into Tier 6.
We start with Hines Ward at number 24. You got to bump him down a little bit for Roethlisberger being out. And he is just 1 year older. Eventually, he's going to have to stop putting up these numbers. He does keep proving us wrong year after year, but with Roethlisberger being out, you got to bump him down. Next, we got Donald Driver, another Mr. Consistency older guy. With Aaron Rodgers playing the way he is and Greg Jennings getting pressure off of Driver, now Finley out there, Driver should definitely be able to find some open areas and look for him to have another solid year. Moving down, our favorite sleeper, Devin Armstrong. We really like this guy. We have him ranked higher than any other experts out there. We can guarantee you that. We just think he has the biggest upside as far as the guys you look at down on this list. This guy could have an amazing year with Cutler and Mike Martz out there in Chicago. We really like this guy this year. Take a gamble on him. And the last guy in this tier is Pierre Garçon. The only reason he's this low is there's just no guarantees he's going to be a big part of that Colt offense. He's going to be the number 3 option out there. And we're just not completely sold on him, but we do think he's a good gamble.
Tier 7 starts with Mike Wallace. There's good and bad news. Santonio Holmes is gone. Good news means more playing time. Bad news, so is Ben Roethlisberger. Next on our list, we have Derek Mason. Now, Bolden's out there with him in Baltimore. Should take some of the pressure off him, but we actually have him lower than a lot of the other experts. We just think his upside's limited. We'd rather take a gamble on a young guy than kind of the steady Eddie Mason. Next on our list, we have TJ Houshmandzadeh. Now, he had a terrible season last year. We fully expect him to do better than 900 yards and 3 touchdowns. At number 31, we have Braylon Edwards. Out of the 3 big Jet receivers, we think he's going to do the best, but they're a running team. They're definitely run first. We just don't even know how many passing yards there are going to be out there. Next, we have Robert Meacham. Don't believe the hype. A lot of guys have him ranked real high. True, he had 9 touchdowns last year, but that was 20% of his catches were touchdowns. You just can't bank on those game to game. Next on our list, we have Steve Breston. This is everybody's favorite sleeper, but for good reason. Bolden's gone. He's going to be primed to hopefully have a big breakout year. And rounding out Tier 7 is Wes Welker. True, he's got that injury, and it's still unclear when he's going to come back, but he did have 123 catches last year. If he does come back early and you can get him late, that is a great value pick.
Taking a look at Tier 8, we start with one of our favorite sleepers in Malcolm Floyd. We liked him before the Vincent Jackson suspension, so obviously now we like him even more. Next, we got Santana Moss. The addition to McNabb out there with the Redskins could be the spark Moss needed to become fantasy relevant again. Moving down, we got Dez Bryant. This rookie is going to get overdrafted. We think he could have a good rookie season as far as rookie receivers go, but that doesn't mean a lot in the fantasy world. A lot of times it's those obscure receivers that you haven't heard of that have the breakout seasons, but don't draft them too early. Next, we got Kotri with the Jets. Another one of those Jets receivers. They're a run-first team. We're worried about if any of the Jets receivers are going to have huge years, but Kotri does have potential of putting up solid numbers. Next, we got Kenny Britt coming off of a great rookie season. We think he's definitely going to improve from his numbers from last year and could be a great sleeper in the later rounds. Moving down, Eddie Royal. Bust last year, made a lot of his owners very frustrated, just could not get anything going. But we do know he is capable of putting up numbers, so look for him to have somewhat of a rebound year, but maybe not full potential of what everyone was hoping for last year. And the last guy in this tier is Lee Evans. He's the best receiver out there in Buffalo. He had 7 touchdowns last year, but they struggled to move the ball through the air. If they can get things going, look for Lee Evans to definitely benefit from that.
Tier 9 starts with Antonio Brown. He's in a new home with Cincinnati, which is a much better spot, but just don't expect a repeat of 08 numbers for him. Next on our list, we have Chris Chambers. Whenever he got over to Kansas City, he played great, but due to his name, he's probably going to be overdrafted. Don't be one of those guys. Next on our list, we have Chaz Schilens, one of Dustin's favorites. He was a big sleeper coming into last year, but he got hurt. When he got onto the field, he actually played very well, and now that Campbell's there throwing the ball, that's certainly an upgrade from obviously Jamarcus Russell. And then last in Tier 9, we have Mario Manningham. I talked earlier how Hickson's already done for the year, so that should also give a boost to Mario Manningham.
Heading into our last tier for the receivers, we start with Massaquoi for Cleveland. He's the best receiver out there, but that's not saying a lot. We don't think Del Holmes the answer out there. but he does have some potential. Next, we got Donnie Avery. Disappointing year last year. A lot of people were hoping for some good stuff, but the Rams just could not get Bolger any time to throw the ball. Avery does have some bounce back potential. Moving down, we got Josh Morgan. He's the number 3 option out there with Vernon Davis and Crabtree, but we do think that offense could be potent enough to have value for all 3 of those guys to have value. 49, we got Santonio Holmes. You know, it's crazy to think a guy with over 1,200 yards is our 49th ranked receiver, but you got to think about this. I mean, the Steelers were a passing team last year. The Jets, you know, are going to be a run team, and there's just no guarantees that Holmes even has a starting job after he comes back from his suspension. And the last guy we're going to talk about is Johnny Knox. We think he could definitely have some value in the Mike Smarks Bears offense. He's definitely worth a late round pick. So that'll wrap up the receivers for 2010 fantasy football season. We want to see you in those games. We want to see you in our forums. And don't forget to check out all of our other rankings and tiers videos. Good luck in your drafts this year.